Hi, I'm Julia with Julia Sue's Stamping, and it figures that as soon as I hit the go live button, the dog comes down and decides he needs to be pet a lot. And hopefully we'll be able to do this really quickly before he begins to really tell me that he needs other things. But he's been out a lot today. I'm not really sure what his issue is. Anyway, again, hi, I'm Julia with Julia Sue's Stamping, where I am passionate about stamping, coloring, creating paper crafts, cards, and I really love to share that fun with others like you here today. I'd like to ask you to please follow or subscribe if you would please, and give the video a thumbs up. It would help me so much with getting these videos out to others and growing the page. I would really appreciate your help with that. I'm here today to talk to you. Yes, thank you, Milo. I'm here today to talk to you about a gift box for cards. Why do I always have problems figuring out where the camera is? Okay, there we go. Hi, and this is a great box to put cards in, to gift, to give away, to have fun with. I was able to get 12 cards in here and envelopes. You've seen me making these cards before, or I've had them on my YouTube and Facebook pages and the blog. So it's a nice snug box. The lid fits really well on there. It's super easy, super quick. I want to share it with you so you can have some fun making some too to give away yourself. I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm always really good at getting my fingers in there. If you have a problem with the, when the camera gets turned around, shut your eyes or look away for a moment. I'll be right back with the camera down on the work surface. So here we go. All right. And I think we're getting it there. Just trying to angle it on there and tighten now the bolt that holds the camera in place. Move the mouse. Okay, again, here is the box. And like I said, it holds I've managed to get 12 cards and envelopes in here to go with the cards. Super fun and very pretty, and it's going to look gorgeous for you to gift somebody this holiday season. I don't know if you're going to want to do 12 whole cards to put in there. That's a lot. That's up to you though, if that's what you want to do. The first thing I did was decide what designer series paper I wanted to use to decorate the front, because this is basically like I pretended I was making a card, and so I wanted to have a focal point that I thought would be really pretty on there. So for me, it was one of the designer series papers that has some pretty scenes on it, and that would be the one I used for this. Is the One Horse Open Sleigh with all these gorgeous different scenes. There are 4 of each kind in there, and there are also some really pretty paper. They're always double-sided, so on the back is another really pretty scene. This one's, I love that one. That's probably what I'm going to use next because it's so bright. I like that a lot, with a little bit of leaves on there. Beautiful different scenes. So when you get these different packages of designer series paper, it also shows you what colors go with it. And I saw that Crumb Cake, Mossy Meadow, Basic Black were a few of them that went with this. So those are the colors I grabbed out. I've got a piece of crumb cake, which is 8.5 by 7. And this is a piece of the Mossy Meadow, which is 8.5 by 10. I'm simply going to pull out my cut and scoring tool. Hopefully I'm not going to accidentally cut it. I'm just going to score 2 inches on every side of the Mossy Meadow. That is 10 10 by 8.5. I remember which size it is. Didn't write it down because I've made so many of these already today. I thought, oh, I'm going to remember that easily. Can you see the score lines on there? Pretty much. Now for the crumb cake. This one is going to be 1 1/4, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have it just a little less than 1 1/4 so that it's nice and snug. So just a tiny bit less. Oh, see what I did? I cut it right away. I knew I would end up doing that. Okay, I have to go grab another piece of the crumb cake. What in the world did I do with it? All right, here's crumb cake. I'm going to get out a piece, and this time I'm not going to cut it. I'm just going to score it. I can't believe I did that. I do it all the time, so I guess I really shouldn't be super surprised. All right, pull this out, make it 7 inches. I'm so embarrassed. All right, 7 inches. Now stay up there. I'm not using you. 1 1/4. Just slightly less, just a smidgen, just like a hair less than 1 1/4. Yes, nice and tight on there. 1 1/4. Remember, Julia, scoring tool, scoring tool. It's actually a really pretty day here in Northeast Ohio. Maybe that's why the dog was bugging me so much. He's saying it's too pretty to be inside all day. But he's not inside all day. He's out in his yard a lot. So I'm not sure if you can see how that ended up scoring, but it did. It scored just a little less than 1 1/4 on all the sides. I have a pair of paper snips now. I'm going to cut in the corners. Now in each corner there's a little square. Can you see it? I'm going to cut along one of them, and I tend to have the long side away from me, if that makes sense. So cutting in there and cutting this one as well. Now I'm going to cut the other end and cut again. Then I'm going to miter those edges so that they are tighter when we make the box. So this is the lid. The smaller piece here that I'm cutting at this moment, the crumb cake piece, is the lid of the box. Awesome. Very happy how this is working so far. I hope you can see it. I'm so good at accidentally doing things out of camera range. There. And now for the last piece on the lid. I'm going to sweep these aside to put them into the paper recycling. And now for the box part. I'm going to do the exact same thing. You can see once again there are little squares on the end where the edges all met. And cut that out right on the score line. Doing the other end. For me, it helps to do all the same steps at the same time. I multitask and go, well, now I'm going to miter since I just did that corner, then I end up messing something up. Okay, and now this side here, miter that one. Great. Last corner here. Well, the last side, I guess. It's not the last corner, is it? And now I'm on the last corner. I like that. Excellent. Okay, put that in paper recycling. I'm pulling out the bone folder, which I think I've had the longest of any Stampin' Up! Tool I've had. Making sure it's nice and tight. I'm going to get all those lines and at the same time kind of pull off anything tight. Really burnish the edges. Excellent. And one more for the box part, the bottom of the box. Good. Now for the top part. Like I said, I tend to do all the steps before I move on to the next one. Hey, there's an edge that didn't get taken out, mitered part. Last one on the long side, and now the short side to burnish that up. Excellent. I'm going to want these to adhere very well, so I'm using the tear and tape, which is a very nice strong adhesive. I'm looking for where it begins. I found it. And now I'm going to put a little bit on each of these corners. Same thing over here on this side. And over here. Now for the box part, the bottom of the box, it's all a box. One's the lid though, and one's the bottom. Getting that on there. Okay, so I'm going to get that out from underneath. Lay it down. Good. So you see, just tear it, and now we're going to tape it. So I take off the piece that is protecting the tape under there, and it's a really nice strong two-sided tape, which is a challenge apparently to get off, especially when you decide to do a live. If I was just at home happily doing this by myself, that would probably come off immediately. Sometimes it helps if you use the bone folder on this and burnish it a little bit tighter onto it, and then it oddly comes right off. Excellent. And then after this, I'll have one more side to get off of the box bottom here. Excellent. Now, I simply line it up using my fingers to help me and get those edges in there. Can you see that, how that's lined up? And then press it with your fingers. Nice and tight. Nice strong bond. The last one, get it in there. Now put these into paper recycling. Excellent. Bottom of the box. I'm so excited. We got the bottom part of the box all done. Now for the lid. Okay, we're going to burnish that one off there a little bit. Okay, piece of tape come off top of the tape. Hey. See, burnishing works. Why in heaven's name wasn't I doing that before? I don't know. Okay. I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to just go ahead and rub them a little bit. There we go. Got that off. It's going to be hidden. No one's going to see that I accidentally tore that. And no one will know except for you and me. And we're not going to tell, right? Okay. And then this piece here. You're my last two pieces. You can do it. Excellent. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move these, put them into the recycling. And once again, just like I did with the bottom of the box, I use my fingers to help guide it right in. Good. Last one. And it's going to fit on nice and snug. No pinching of the sides to get on. You can see that the box is nice and straight all the way. Woohoo! Yes! How awesome is this? Okay, it's time to decorate. Like I said, I used the one horse open sleigh. Started off with a mossy meadow piece. This one is 4 5/8 by 5 7/8. And then I'm going to adhere that using some Stamp and Seal. I want to really get a lot of adhesive on here because I want it to stay on well. Putting it on the top of the box. And apparently I have too big of a piece. Okay, what else can I end up doing wrong on this video? I don't know. Alright, I have to find the mossy meadow. How in the world did I get the wrong size on here? I don't know. Let's give it another try. Okay. You're not going to fit. You're too small. I'm just going to grab a piece of mossy meadow. Okay. 4 5/8. So it's a half by 5 3/4. Are you going to fit? Or are you too big? Oh, for Pete's sake. Oh, no wonder. I wrote the wrong one down here. Okay. Four 5/8. 5 7/8. Let's see if I can get this a little bit better. And before I put any adhesive on it, well, see, now that's perfect. So I must have grabbed the wrong piece. Okay, this is 4 5/8 by 5 7/8. And I apparently grabbed the wrong piece to put it on there. And how about this? And this is going to be too big too. All right, this first pattern is 4 1/2 by 5 3/4. So 4 1/2. Yeah, that's 4 1/2. 4 5/8. I need it just a little bit smaller than the 5/8. So it should be 4 1/2. But 5/8. And it fits perfectly on here. What size did I cut this? 4 5/8. No, it must be 4 and we'll get it right. I promise we'll get it right. Okay, 1/4. All right. 4 1/4. That's right. There we go. Okay, so this is 4 and right there. So that's 1 2 3/8. 4 3/8. Because one more would be a half. Okay. 4 3/8. I need to write that down. 4 3/8. Okay. So at least that other part is right. Okay. Well, I hope you'll forgive me for all these silly mistakes I'm making here today. I really did make a whole bunch of boxes and wrote things down and then apparently did it wrong anyway. We're all human. Okay. Centering it on the top there. Yay. And then this one will get centered there. It's just an 1/8 inch bigger all the way around, so it frames it. Look on the other side, it's got this cute little Bambi on it. I'm not using you today, Bambi. I'm going to put the other side up. Maybe next time. Ta-da! Excellent. Okay. Boy, I sure hope I cut these right. They look good. This last pattern piece is 3 1/2 inches by 5, and then this is just an 1/8 inch bigger all the way around too. So I'm going to adhere this beautiful piece of the pattern paper from the One Horse Open Sleigh to the black. I thought the black really helped make it look super cool. Some adhesive on the back of that too, or you could use dimensionals if you wanted. Put some ribbon around it, however it is that you would want to decorate yours. And there we go. I'm going to finish it off with some adhesive backed sparkle gems. These are beautiful. And taking the scissors, I'm going to get, I think we'll use these whitish silver looking ones. They come in two different sizes, a smaller size and a bigger one. And very nice. Won't that be beautiful for gifting to somebody? They would love to get this, I'm sure. Full of cards from you that you have made. It's just beautiful. So, all right. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining me today. So sorry there were a lot of weird snafus and stuff in it, but here we go. Have a good day.